Glad to have you with us here on another edition of Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for being here. Coming up on today's show, let's get you set with a fresh batch of Seahawks news and rumors, the latest happenings on your favorite team. We will talk about the possibility of trading for Quinnen Williams. Also, could the Seahawks be cutting Alton Robinson? And who are some of the potential top defensive lineman options out there? Pete Carroll says that they're not done yet. We'll go over all of that in a matter of moments. Before we do, need a little help here on the show. I want you guys to share today's video. And in return, this is what I'm willing to offer. If you click the share button, select the Twitter icon, and click post to Twitter, tag me at Tyler Jones Live. I'm not only going to retweet you, but I'm also going to follow the first 10 people that follow me and share today's show. So sounds like a pretty good deal, right? You rub my back, I rub your back. Hey, why not, right? So if you share today's show, we'll show you some love. We certainly would appreciate it. We want to get this out to as many members of the 12s that we can out there to be a part of what we're doing here on the channel. We begin today with a new update from Pro Football Network as they have named Seattle as a top trade destination for New York Jets defensive lineman Quinnen Williams. Now, you may have been following over the last couple of weeks. The trade rumors about Quinnen Williams have certainly heated up all across the National Football League. And things took another step forward yesterday when Quinnen Williams wiped the Jets from all of his social media. Now, obviously, he wants to get paid. The Jets are in a situation where they've spent a lot of money on offense with Aaron Rodgers and company. Do they have enough money to pay Quinnen Williams? Maybe not. So, what about the idea of him coming to Seattle? Here's more from Pro Football Network. Nevertheless, the 25th ranked scoring defense could continue to use another threat on the line. Sliding Williams next to Jones would give the unit two bona fide terrors for blockers to contain, as well as open opportunities for their teammates. The edge core of Darrell Taylor, Uchenna Nwosu, Boye Mafe, and Derick Hall needs a star to thrive off of. The other factor here is Pete Carroll's age, turning 72 this fall. Carroll surely wants to win now. Next year's late first-round pick will have far less of an impact than Williams will in the short and long term. Now, I'll put it this way. When it comes to the idea of bringing Mr. Williams to Seattle, it's not going to be cheap. But I think, as you saw Pro Football Network allude to there, that the impact would be massive for this Seahawks defense. This is a guy that is in the prime of his career right now. He's just now entering the prime, you could argue, for his best football ahead. So there would be a huge impact there. But when you talk about what you have to pay him, what you'd have to give up, all of that isn't very cheap. And where the Seahawks are at with the salary cap and such, I don't know if they can do this. But in theory, it sounds nice. Should Seattle trade for Quinnen Williams? What do you think? This is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break, so take advantage of it. While the ad's playing, get your votes in. Y for yes, in for no. Should Seattle make a trade for Quinnen Williams? Let me know what you think. Y for yes or in for no. So more on Quinnen Williams. This is what I'm talking about as far as the money and the contract situation goes of what Seattle could be working with Quinnen Williams. According to ESPN, there is a thought that Quinnen Williams is seeking around $23.5 million per year. This season, he's entering his fifth-year option, which will pay him about $9.5 million. So you get that money now, and then the big payday coming later, off of a season where he was just a first-team All-Pro selection in 2020 and a Pro Bowler, which included 28 hits on the quarterback, 12 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, and 55 tackles. Quinnen Williams is that guy. He is that dude. And whether it's Quinnen or someone else, the Seahawks need to do something with the interior of the defensive line. Something has to be done. You can't just roll with what you have right now and be content. Now, we've seen the defensive line with the changes that Seattle has made this offseason is much improved. They are better than what they were at the end of 2022. But if this team is serious about competing and contending in 2023, there's still more work to be done. And Pete Carroll even acknowledged that recently. He said, simply put, we're not done yet. We've still got work to do there, talking about the defensive line. Now, you may be sitting here and saying to yourself, hey, Quinnen Williams, it's just too much. Can't afford him, don't want to give up the draft capital for him, and that may be fine. There's still some other possibilities out there for the defensive line of getting interior defensive linemen, like Shelby Harris, who Seahawks fans are obviously very familiar with. Linval Joseph is still around. Ndamukong, who we've talked about in this channel previously, a Pacific Northwest native, could be making his return. So whether it's Quinnen Williams, a free agent out there, Seattle has to do something. Pete Carroll is aware that they have to do something. Let's see what they do. So now it's your chance to weigh in here on Seahawks Today. What do you think? Who's a defensive lineman the Seahawks should add? We've presented a few different options for you. Now you tell me who you think the Seahawks should add. Give me one name that comes to mind that you'd like to be a Seahawk in 2023 on that interior of the defensive line. Let me know a name that comes to mind. Next up, Alton Robinson. Last week we told you on the program when we were going over cut candidates of who the Seahawks could potentially move on from to save money and save roster space. A name that I brought up was Alton Robinson. We haven't seen a whole lot of Alton Robinson over the last several months, with the limited play time, with the injuries he's had and everything. Well, now Bleacher Report is catching on to what I said on this show just a couple days ago, naming him as a top cut candidate for the Seahawks. Here's more from Bleacher Report. Alton Robinson began his NFL career with 22 tackles and 4 sacks in 2020, suggesting he'd become a nice contributor in Seattle, but his role has basically stayed the same in 2021, and Robinson missed 2022 with a knee injury. Now, after the Seahawks drafted Derick Hall, Robinson may be battling Tyreek Smith for the final roster spot at the position. Now, I'll put it this way. No offense, and you can say anything you want as long as you say no offense. So that's at least what Ricky Bobby tells me anyway. But I've kind of already mentally checked out from Alton Robinson. I remember reading the comments section the other day when we were talking about the idea of Seattle cutting Alton Robinson. Somebody said, I forgot Alton Robinson still played for the Seahawks. I've already mentally checked out about Alton Robinson. The Seahawks are well past the days of really looking at depending on Alton Robinson. Because even if, let's say, that everything's fine and equal and that he's healthy and good to go, you're not really going to depend that much on Alton Robinson anymore. He would be a third-string outside linebacker in the current system. Started 3 games in 2020 and in 2021. Didn't play at all last year with that knee injury. Sure, the money is not a big issue by any means. I mean, you're looking at him being owed $1.01 million this upcoming season. If you cut him, it's the same amount that you'd be saving against the cap. It's all about this precious roster spot we're talking about here of, are you better equipped, are you better served with using that roster spot on somebody else? And potentially, you just might be as far as that goes. So Alton Robinson, there was a lot of hype. There was a lot of hope of what he could potentially bring to the Seattle Seahawks, but I'm out on Alton Robinson. Like I said, no offense, and you can say that, but Alton Robinson, I'm done with. I'm mentally checked out on Alton Robinson. Don't think that this is going anywhere. So we'll see what happens here. Should the Seahawks cut Alton Robinson? Here's your chance to be John Schneider here on Seahawks Today. What do you think? C for cut, K for keep. Should Seattle keep Alton Robinson around or not? What's your thoughts on potentially bringing him back to the Seattle Seahawks and giving him one of those precious 53-man roster spots? Let me know. C for cut, K for keep. Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Seattle Seahawks there. And we got a big week ahead. Join us tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, Seahawks Today Live. I shall see you then. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for spending it with us here at Seahawks Today.